Alrighty guys, hello and welcome back to the show. This is the last time I'm going to try and record this video for the last time, hopefully. Alright, I forgot to hit record the last time because I'm an idiot. So let's go ahead and get into it. Today we've got Beyond All Reason coming your way today. We're going to call this the red team over on the left-hand side of the map and the blue team over on the right-hand side of the screen. Map is DSDR 4.1, if y'all were curious. As we kick into it, I kind of slowed down a little bit on my Beyond All Reason content, and by slowed down, I mean kind of stopped. There were a couple reasons for it. The biggest one being that over the summer, I was engaged in a couple of things outside of content creation and just needed to pull back a little bit on the YouTube side of things. So ended up cutting Beyond All Reason content, but we're back, baby, and we've got the Forged Alliance stuff all sorted out now, so it's time to do another bar cast. I know y'all have been asking for it, so let's go ahead and introduce our players. We're going to start on the left-hand side of the screen with the red team. We've got Roe, who's going Armada, opening first bots. To his south, we've got Orange State, who's going Armada, opening first vehicles, actually, which is a little different than what we normally see. Fontaine going Armada, opening first bots. And to his south, we have Mickle 105 going first spots as the Armada. Down at the bottom of the plateau, we've got Flash going Armada, opening first bots. To his north, we've got what has got to be the best username I think I've ever seen for anybody in any game ever. V is for vodka. Hell yeah, brother. And he's actually going Cortex, breaking ranks a little bit, and he's opening first bots. Up on the top of the plateau, once again, we've got, ooh, Shiny, and he's going first spots as the Armada, and his ally up here is going to be Baki's Agio, who's going Cortex, opening first bots. So mostly armed there for the red team, and a lot of bots. With that, let's go over to the blue team. We've got Master, who's going first to vehicles, actually, as the Armada. So again, switching things up a little bit. He's going as the Armada, and every time I see this guy's username, I keep thinking of Master of Puppets and just want to go, Master! Master! Next, we've got iBob at the bottom, and he was going first spots, but now seems to be reclaiming it. But he's playing as the Cortex. To the south, we've got Kayliz, who's going first to vehicles, actually, as the Cortex. And last on the back line, we've got Skynet going first spots as the Cortex. Base of the plateau, we've got Frostbite 4575, and he's going Cortex, opening first bots. In the middle, we have Timber, who's going first to vehicles as Cortex. And for the two players up on the plateau, we have Maudry on the northern side of the plateau, going Cortex, opening first bots. And then his ally is going to be Zaner, who's going as Armada, and he is also opened first spots, this time as the Armada. So, y'all are seeing a theme. It's the red team really likes their bots and their Armada, and the blue team really likes their vehicles and the Cortex. So, we'll see how this all shakes out. Throughout the cast today, I'm going to be drawing parallels between this game and Forged Alliance Forever, just because I know a lot of my audience comes from Forged Alliance Forever, so I want to explain what you guys are seeing as well, and what the lovely devs for Beyond All Reason have all put together. So, first big thing is we've got light laser towers getting thrown down really all over the map for everybody, so defensive structures, much more important in this game. They're very fragile though, so it doesn't take a whole lot to kill them, unlike a Tech 1 point defense surrounded by walls. These point defense are pretty fragile, and you can see Frostbite getting his lines kind of set up. Flash, Timber, and then V for vodka, actually putting his line a little bit further back. Timber, I think, getting a better exchange here as far as mass in the middle. We have some of our first engagements here. A couple of light tanks there out from, I believe that's Orange State, running into similar light tanks, except of the Cortex variety, out from Timber. I'm just going to say that way every single time. As now we have some aggravators coming forward from Vias for vodka. These are kind of like your light artillery from the bots. They're good at dealing with buildings, long range, etc. Good damage too, but no tracking. V for vodka finding himself entangled with these Tech 1 vehicles. And another key change to note is if you note how much HP V for Vodka is actually losing here, the commanders in this game are not the chunky titans that they kind of are in Forge Alliance Forever. They're much thinner. It doesn't take that much to kill them. But the bright side is you don't lose whenever your commander dies. For instance, I just heard a commander explosion back here because it would appear that this particular player, iBob, has Control K'd his commander for reclaim, which is another interesting mechanic, a little bit of a change up. So you don't actually lose all of your buildings whenever your commander goes down, but you do lose a lot of utility. The D-gun on commanders, very powerful. They also have the ability to cloak, provided you have the energy for it. And D-gun functions a little differently than overcharge. It's much more powerful. Like, I think you can one-shot almost everything with the appropriate D-gun, with good D-gun and good cloaked utilization. So a little bit higher skill cap there on the commander utilization side. My nose is feeling like it's telling me it needs to sneeze. I've been getting over a cold over the last 3-4 days or so. And it looks like Master is taking control, becoming the master of his domain, if you'll pardon the pun. I'm here all week. And he's going to be taking these 2 metal extractors there in the middle. Orange State taking some light laser tower fire. Several grunts there backing up Skynets. So Skynet's helping out his buddy Frostbite. Similar to how Orange State is doing the same thing there for Flash, as well as Vias for Vodka. I just got this. This is probably a parody of V for Vendetta. But V for Vodka is definitely better than V for Vendetta. Vodka's probably my favorite liquor, I think. That or tequila. I'm not a huge whiskey guy, which makes me feel like less of a man every time I say that. Not a huge fan of bourbon or scotch. I do like beer though, so I guess I fulfill 2/3 of George Thorogood's song there. Answers in the comments if you get that reference. I'm sure there will be, based on the overall demographics of my channel. Somebody's dad somewhere had to have shown them that song. Either way, we've got an agitator, medium plasma artillery being set up by Modrai. And you can see he does not have, he's lacking either metal or energy there to actually get that constructed. So constructing pretty slowly, but medium plasma artillery is going to set up a nice little exclusion zone around here. Although Back is pushing forward there with some aggravators there from Modrai, as well as a couple of infantry bots and rocketeers in defense from Zanier as well as Modrai. So really interested in, really hyper focused on getting this agitator up. And as you can see, it looks like he's not stalling near as bad there. He's actually getting an energy converter down, which is a pretty aggressive energy converter there. And if you're wondering what some of these UI things are, we can see things like total ACUs that are still alive. So the green number is the blue team, the red number is the red team. And we're seeing resource utilization for one of the players. I won't be switching back and forth that much though between the various players and looking at resource utilization. A little bit of forward pressure there from Skynets. Needs to get these tanks just a little bit further forward. It took some unnecessary damage there from that light laser tower. Some rocketeers being spammed up in defense. Skynets could just run through this hole, I think, and cause some damage. We'll see if that's in the cards for him. As Master getting his extra metal extractors, although Orange State has moved up here in a very aggressive position onto the plateau as well. And has gotten himself a new metal extractor. And Master's commander looking a little isolated here. It's going to be difficult for units and reinforcements to get to him. You can start to see the effectiveness of vehicles versus bots as 2 tanks are actually slugging it out relatively effectively with these bots. Took several of them down with him. And that medium plasma artillery now up. So that's going to make this position a little bit harder there for Bacchius to hang on to. As we had a red commander die. I believe that wasn't Orange State. Focus on that in a second. As Bacchius comes up and D-guns down that medium artillery, that plasma artillery. Bacchius commander looking kind of peaky here though, as the rockets from the Rocketeers and the Aggravators starting to lock on, fire their missiles. Plasma bots though doing a pretty good job of keeping those Rocketeers at bay. Bacchius is going to make it out with about 500 HP left on that commander. And just because your commander, if you lose your commander, just because you can lose your commander without losing the game doesn't mean you should just go throwing it away. It does offer a lot of good utility, and we've seen some of that utility in casts in the past. Hey, that rhymes. I didn't even do that on purpose. Look at me go. Some lightning turrets getting spammed up as well. Although the light artillery now from Frostbite is starting to make it a little bit more difficult here for Flash to maintain this position. You can actually see him evacuating his commander. As he's starting to lose structures, he's actually put up a bunch of construction turrets just to keep this light laser tower alive, which can't be cheap from the eco side of things, and arguably not worth it, but you know. I've got some of those medium assault tanks coming out as well. That is a cloakable metal extractor. Yeah, so another thing that you might notice in this game is there are a bunch of different units, and they have very wide range of purposes. Like you can have hardened metal extractors, cloakable metal extractors, cloakable energy generators. You have a lot of different units that you can play with as well. A lot of different defensive structures. And you can see Orange State actually just showing off the cloaking from his commander. You can see him doing it once again. So his commander stays cloaked as long as he has the energy to run it, which I'm guessing he's either toggling it on or off, or he doesn't have the energy to actually run his cloak, which either way, it's all good. And we're starting to get some real heavy eco coming out from Flash as he's getting advanced metal extractors set up. Flash, I think the highest rated player in this game, or one of the higher rated players in this game, as he's got those advanced metal extractors set up, going for his first fusion reactor. No Tech 2 though just yet. Seems to be focused primarily on just holding the line and ecoing as best he can. Fusion reactor is kind of like your Tech 2 power generator. As Orange State still maintaining this position. This is a really weird dichotomy that's happened here with Master being able to hold this plateau, and Orange, which he probably shouldn't be able to hold, and Orange State being able to hold this area, which he probably shouldn't be able to hold either. And I say that as Master now being overrun by a series of pawns. Nice D-gun wipes out a lot of them. Still has to worry about the D-gun, or the vehicles though, on the bottom. Gonna D-gun one of them. Two. I just got to get rid of the Janus. But he's lost his eco there. Does have a plasma battery though up on the ridge. It's causing some problems down here for Ooh Shiny. But otherwise in the north, it's kind of slowed down a little bit. Let's get some of these markings off the screen. And we got more plasma batteries being set up. There by V for vodka. Just like V is for vodka, P is for plasma. Or prick, which is what I've been called a lot. Riot takes the Pounders themselves, taking a pounding by the Rocketeers as well as the hammers, maces, sorry, not hammers. And now we start to see some Tech 2 units onto the field, so we got some pyros or some fiends. Some of the pyro bots starting to scream through, taking down a lot of defensive structures with them, but having trouble closing the gap though on these Rocketeers as well as these maces. Probably needs to get a group of them. Those are from iBob. Probably needs to pull those back, get a group of them together before he makes a big push. Orange State has now taken over this position, or is trying to at least. Master with some defensive structures actually still left up here. In the form of a heavy laser tower, the Overwatch, as well as a Dragon's Claw, a lightning turret, and that medium plasma artillery. Orange State forced to cloak and D-gun his way out of here. Nice D-gun usage, very nice D-gun usage. And we got some hounds coming out as well. Those are out from Skynets, and that's going to spell the end of Orange State, but definitely some great D-gun usage. And, man, Skynet's on the ball there with those reclaim bots getting that commander wreck. So that puts our score 6-5 as far as overall commander kills. This plasma battery is still up here. As these pyros trying to use their tech advantage, but there's a little too much T1 there from Ooh Shiny. As the vehicles are facing off against the bots there for Timber, as well as V for Vodka, or actually that's Fontaine. Timber with his commander up at the top, de-gunning down some units. Ooh Shiny playing it pretty far forward here. And his medium plasma battery is just got 6 kills to its name. Been really kind of a problem, and has really offered a little bit of a beachhead here for the blue team to keep a hold of this northern plateau, or at least to continue to contest it. And it's still not dead, as we got vehicles now coming in from Timber. Ooh Shiny gonna de-gun some of those down with his comm. Nicely done, nicely executed. Plasma battery's still up though, and getting repaired by that Lazarus. Reclaim, repair, resurrection bot, it does it all. Brings people back from the dead. The only thing it won't do is win your game for you. And microwave a pizza. But if you're microwaving a pizza, you really gotta take a look in the mirror and think, what am I doing with my life that I'm microwaving pizza? And I'm not saying like reheating a pizza, I'm saying like you bought a frozen pizza and you're microwaving it. If you're reheating a piece of pizza, then, you know, I'll let that slide. I'll allow that to slide. Tech 2 now coming out for flash there. We got some sniper bots set up. I do like both the sound and the animation of those. I praise this every game, but it blows me away every time I come back to this game. It's just how good the sound design and the music is in this game. As you can see, hear the music start to pick up there. It's just hell yeah, brother. I don't usually get into soundtracks for games. I actually usually turn them off and listen to my own music. And this is one of the few games that I don't do that to. Halo, I think, is the only other one that I've done that with. Oh, and Doom. Doom has an outstanding soundtrack as well. These sniper bots just leveling everything in their path, so you can see how fragile these buildings are. Oh, I love the concussive nature of that. As these thugs closing in, sniper bot's not the tankiest. So he's gonna lose a couple of sniper bots. Does get Does wipe out the rest of those thugs, though, with that pop-up Gauss cannon. Let's look at how everybody's ecoing, though. We've got last advanced metal extractor as far as the core mexes go there for Orange State. Everybody else, at least in the back lines, seems to be, and on the front lines actually as well, seems to have advanced metal extractors pretty much across the board, with the exception of V for Vodka, as well as Mikkel. He's got 2 of them, missing the 3rd though. This sniper bot, though, sniper bot push in conjunction with the lightning bots there from Flash really gathered them a lot of good territory. Starting to put some pressure now on Frostbite's base. Skynet's setting up another defensive line a little bit further back now. And we're starting to see a little bit of that wheeling motion that we see oftentimes at this map. Usually a team will win the bottom but also lose the top, and Backies is fighting back but has lost a lot of his defensive structures here to Madri as well as Zaner. So it becomes a race between whether Madri and Zaner can close up the northern side of the map before Flash, V for Vodka, and Orange State can push through Skynets as well as Frostbite down here. Bombing run now in as well. Not interested in Frostbite. Seem to be going after Skynet's base. So they're gonna drop their bombs away. And that's gonna cripple him. Takes out a lot of his power grid as well as a lot of his mass fabrication. Gets to work on a SAM. Does still have all of his advanced metal extractors for the time being. Like I said, for the time being, Sam needs to put in some work there. That's a crushing bombing run. He also lost his bot lab there. Sams are not done yet, or the bombers are not done yet either. Continuing to make problems there as Frostbite goes poof to the sharpshooters that was focused on the bombing run that have now moved north. There's a lot more AA up north though, so they're gonna take some of the energy and take some of those things out, but not the rest of them. Frostbite, I think, has been eliminated from this game at this point. I don't see any more engineers on his side of the map. Skynet's in full retreat. This has been an unmitigated disaster here for the blue team on the lower side of the map. Kayla's has gotta step up here and plug some holes. Does have a couple of bot labs that are producing. I don't know if he's Tech 2. He is Tech 2 on vehicles. Needs to get some units out and soon to help that situation down at the bottom. Those advanced bots there from Skynet's still hanging on. Kind of in a combative retreat, so to speak. Fall back, but make them pay for every inch of ground that they get. And it doesn't look like Flash is super interested in pushing into Kayla's base. We do have a heavy artillery vehicle out from Kayla's. That seems to be a poor choice based on the decision. Getting to work on some grunts. We also have pyros now coming in from, is that Modri? Yeah, it's Modri. Those are going to help. Taking out some of those sniper bots before the sniper bot does a 360 no scope and takes him out. Now we've got a Mammoth out, so heavily armored assault bot. That's going to be out from iBob, as well as some heavy assault tanks. And that's really what I think the blue team needs in order to hang on to this line. The mammoth starts going to work, but it's taking some good damage from those sharpshooters. These things really doing a lot of damage. 17 kills on one, 30 kills on the other. I don't think running away is going to be a good strategy. Nope. Okay. Yep. That mammoth's down now. Do you have another one in reserve? Is just taking pot shots at these units at this point. The physics simulations in this game are also just super satisfying to watch. As the mammoth, fresh off the assembly line, I don't think finished basic gunnery training. Needs to get rid of these sniper bots. These sniper bots are priority number one. There's one still alive. All right, that's the last one, but he doesn't leave without giving a parting gift there. All right, so these other two mammoths should be able to kind of clean this up a little bit. Provided they can shoot. There it is. Once they come into vision, it works a lot better. Operating off of radar, though, obviously they didn't pay attention in coordinates in gunnery school. If that's such a thing. But Master has once again retaken this position. Timber also grabbing himself some mexes. While these mammoths are struggling to hang on down here. We do have another sharpshooter that's shown up there from Flash. Just taking pot shots at these mammoths. And now it would appear that Fontaine getting into the action now, starting to put some pressure onto Skynet's, as well as Kayla's base. Kayla's with mostly AA, not really any ground defenses, although he's not really going to need it, as at least at the time being, as we do have some of those Sheldon mortar bots. Sitting up there on the plateau. You know, I'll bet the conversation between Skynets and his Sheldons was something like, hey guys, you know, you've done really, really great. Why don't you take a break? And the mortar bot was like, I don't need sleep. I need to kill more things. And then he went and scrambled and looked under our coffee table. I'm sure that's exactly how that conversation went. As the blue team hanging on down here, they need less like really heavy, slow moving things and more of like the more agile units, I think, at this point. So for the Cortex, that would be the Sheldons, would be the Fiends. Something that doesn't move really, really slow and is susceptible to these sharpshooter bots that just are continuously murdering these mammoths left, right, and center from iBob. iBob could also do with building something else. He's now actually got an experimental gantry up. Oh, and I think that's actually, the mammoth actually is an experimental unit, quote unquote, or Tech 3. Not a Tech 2 unit. Got a mammoth out as well for the red team. That's going to be out from Flash, who really ecoing hard. Got his own experimental gantry up. He's got tons of energy coming out from these advanced fusion reactors. The advanced fusion reactors are your Tech 3 power. They come in a lot of different flavors. Hardened, cloaked, or vanilla. He's gone for the vanilla ones here. Let me tell you, if these things go boom, it's big boom. It's big boom time. It's like almost worse to have a fusion reactor explode in your base than it is to get nuked. All right. And now we've also got a Shiva coming in, amphibious siege mech, and that's going to be out from iBob as well. These Shivas are pretty damn strong. 2 or 3 more of those and you can start to turn the tide of this battle real quickly. Although looking on the mini-map, it's looking like we got some Razorbacks now coming in from Flash. Razorbacks not quite as chonky as Shivas, but pretty damn close. They're a little faster, much higher rate of fire. Look up here as they're getting tired of Master existing up on this plateau. Master with a couple of mobile artilleries, as well as some Gauss cannons of his own, but he's getting bombed. He's got the Razorbacks in his face. Those Razorbacks going to be able to clear pretty much all of it out. Two of them badly damaged, though. That's going to be a mass resourcing option lost there for the blue team. Razorbacks also flexing their muscles here in the middle against some fiends, some of the pyro assault bots. And I think the best way to describe it is if you think of your Shivas as like your Percivals, your Razorbacks are kind of your Titans. You know, still very strong, more mobile, but not quite as tanky as the Shivas. Fontaine in a very dangerous spot with his commander, actually. Let's see what Master is up to. So Master's got advanced vehicle plants, fusion reactor, not a whole lot else. Timber has actually built himself a little base back here in the back line. He's up here with his commander, actually getting his hands dirty. D-gun to nowhere, but that's okay. And that's going to cost him his life. Master being encouraging, though, from the back lines. Got to secure that reclaim as well. But the blue team's starting to accumulate a critical mass here of Shivas, Mammoths, and other big weapons. Going to be in a position to start pushing back. They need to retake Frostbite's original base. And then get some defensive structures set up. Some, I think it's the Tachyon Accelerator, as well as some plasma batteries. And I think they'll be in much better shape than they are right now. But this is the road to recovery, so to speak. As squad of Razorbacks now coming in from Flash. A lot of T1 units still on the field there for... it's going to be from Fontaine. And really, blue team is losing their grip on the northern side of the map as well, which is also unfortunate. Huge squad of hounds making their way across, and those are backed up by some fiends from... Those are going to be from Bacchus. And Razorbacks also now starting to get engaged on the Shivas, as well as the Mammoths. Shiva's given a good fight here, though, but there are too many Razorbacks, I think, unfortunately. And let's see what defenses we have set up. So we got some twin guards, which they're okay, but they're better against T1. Okay, we do have an energy weapon coming up now, Bulwark. That was the defensive structure I was thinking of earlier. But Razorbacks now starting to come in. Do have a Bulwark up though, and that's gonna make a lot of these Razorbacks start to think twice a little bit, because the Bulwark hits pretty hard. Down here on the bottom, we've got all-terrain rocket spiders as well coming out from... It's going to be out from Mikkel. He's been pretty quiet this game, but is now looking to get into the mix and prove himself. I think the second Bulwark needs to go up so that we can start to seal this northern breach, so to speak. Now you can see the Bulwark with actually two lasers. Forgot to mention that. It has a kind of a lower, shorter range, higher fire rate one, and then one that's much more heavy alpha strike. As we got a big bombing run now coming in. that's going to be out of row. And he is absolutely decimating. And we'll get to see how big those fusion reactors look whenever they go pop. Ugh. iBob left with nothing but his experimental gantry. And row's not done yet. You want to take apart Timber's rear base as well. Master's base is up next. Or Master. And is that a nuke out? That's an anti-nuke system. So he also has a nuke out. I think that was... So we do have an anti-nuke out somewhere over here. Or that anti-nuke. I'm not quite sure 100% what happened. Idiot caster, noob caster. Like this video if you think I'm an idiot. That should cause all sorts of confusion for everybody. As a bomber is still dropping, this time on Modri's base. Finally gets shot down though. As these all-terrain spiders really living up to their name here, literally climbing a sheer cliff. Trying to think what the show was. I want to say it was either Avatar or Legend of Korra, where they've got like all of these mechs that are literally like scaling vertical up a cliff, and then they're, you know, fighting like as if the cliff is flat ground. I feel like that's kind of what's happening here. You've got the spiders shooting up at these fiends up at the top. Fiends there from Modri. But I think I've pronounced his name 7 or 8 different ways this cast. I've got Modri, Modri, Modri. It's not looking great for Team Blue, though. And we do have a nuclear launcher. Okay, so that's actually what happened. Ooh, Shiny has got himself a shiny nuclear missile launcher. And he launched the nuke, and the anti-nuke actually, I think, took it out. So that was what ended up happening. We'll clear that up right now. And if that isn't what happened, that's actually what happened. Fiends from Modri running into some of these lightning tanks, as well as some heavy tanks there from... those are going to be out from Orange State. And the Razorbacks have now started to move. Let's see what Kalis has got up his sleeve here with these energy weapons. Losing quite a few Razorbacks. But quite a few I don't think is enough. Nice EMP charge turns off a few of them. And we got one bulwark down, a second one back here, but the second one's got its own issues to deal with. See that higher fire rate laser dealing with some of the T1 units. Big laser just took out a Razorback. Things starting to crumble now. There for Kayla's. And that would be Skynet's is next. Skynet's does have Advanced Bot Lab. Does have a good vantage point here with Sheldon's. Mammoths, though, not going to be able to hold against that many Razorbacks without some additional help. So I think Skynet's might be next to fall, though. Needs to make sure these mammoths stay out of range of those hounds, at least until they engage, which, speaking of engaging, it looks like they're ready to engage now. Razorbacks start to come in. Mammoth's actually holding up surprisingly well against the Razorbacks. as they're giving about as good as they're getting. There's just a little too, there are a few too many. Skynet's going to try and do some D-gun maneuvers here. He's got his commander cloaked, but those Razorbacks able to outrun him. Unless they walk backwards. D-gun off. 2, 3, nice shot there, but ended up going to lose his commander. And I believe that is him out of this game, and I think that the blue team has now conceded now that they have lost the southern side of the map. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this, as well as the return of Beyond All Reason to the channel. If y'all have any Beyond All Reason replays you want me to take a look at, please feel free to send me the SFDZ file. Please do it directly on Discord. That's going to be the best way to get those games to me. And I will take a look and hopefully get to cast it. So with that, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Peace.